Online Racing League Championship. And of course, today, as you can probably see if you know this game well enough, we're coming to you from Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, it's not the actual Spanish Grand Prix. There is, of course, two races. There is the feature race, of course, which we are having our one-shot qualifying to determine the grid for the feature race, and then the sprint race after the feature race. As we now head into qualifying, have we got the championship battlers, the top three? Yes, we do. Chazza, Skull. No. Okay. I didn't mean to Skull, but good to see that Colin is here. Bolt, of course, and Chiller Killer. King their skills doing quite well at the moment. But let's see what tyre everyone is on. I've clicked the wrong buttons here. I'm still waking up a little bit, that's for sure. Everyone qualifying on the soft compounded tyre, of course. As at the moment, we're seeing some good performances as the drivers now head through turn 9. So we are on board with Chaz, who's made up a couple of positions there through that corner. He's made up... Okay, Chaz just went from 5th to 1st, and he's thrown it all away in the braking zone for turn 10. Big mistake there. But King No Skill and Chiller Killer are doing quite well here. Look at that, very smooth through the last sector. Absolutely no issues with the rear end for Chiller Killer in this very difficult final sector. As he now comes out of the final corner. Is he going to take pole position for the feature race? Yes, he is. Well done, Chiller Killer, with a 131.1. And I just realised I wasn't even on board with him. I was on board with King No Skill. But, well done, Chiller Killer. Congratulations. But I will just get up the championship standings now. Because, of course, we will... we have to do the formation lap. But there we go. Chiller Killer with the first pole position. Congratulations on that in the Prema Racing team. Second is Bolt. Third is Woody. Fourth is King No Skill. Fifth with Chazza. I think he would have been a bit further up if he had not gone so deep at turn 10. Merchulago 6th. Jay Hobson 7th. Val 8th. Skull 9th. Dougie 10th. Hefford 11th. The G-Man 12th. And Sniper Killer 13th. And I just noticed that Danny Ibn Lahar just joined in at the back end of that qualifying lap, so we will see him on the grid for the race. Yep, so there we go. Just got the championship standing up. Okay, well we'll go through the championship order right now. So currently we have Bolt, TBD in first place on 82 points, Chazza in second on 63 points, Woody Racing in third on 33 points, Val in fourth on 26 points, J Hobson UK on 24 points, Chiller Killer in sixth on 18 points, Danny Ibn Lahar on 15 points, King No Skill on 14 along with Hefford on 14 points. Then we've got Lazar in 10th on 12 points, Sonics in 11th on 11 points, Paddy Brick on 10 points, Dougie Afroman 13th on 4 points along with Merchulago in 14th also on 4 points. And then we have Testameister with 2 points, Adel, and then Sniper Killer with 1 point, wrapping up our point scorers. And then we have Shaktafa. There we go. Way I said the name correctly. You're all welcome. Then JFD, Jacobs Motorsport, Skull TBD, and the G-Man, all who have not scored points so far this season. But now, as we head down turn 5, certainly looking forward to this race. As now I've just got to bring up the chat because I've of course just been on Twitter to look at the standings. Of course, Nemesis Online Racing League. You search that on Twitter, the Twitter page will come up for the Nemesis Online Racing League, and now I can't even think really, so I'm sure that I think I might struggle a little bit. As Cameron Adam says, good evening to you, mate, good to see you along. Kevin Jacobs says, how's it going, guys? Let's go, Hobson. There you go, Kevin Jacobs throwing his support behind Hobson. Colin J. Spencer, not Colin, Callum J. Spencer says, let's go Russian time, boys. Adskull TBD, of course, supporting his good mates there, in Toby, Jazz, and Skull. As now we are finally heading towards where we need to be, and let's get all of this up. Now, and all Chaz is starting on the medium compounder tyres. Everyone else, except for Hefford, is starting on the soft compounder tyres, of course, with Chazza. So this is going to be a bit spicy, I imagine. Right, as we're now not going to look at the tyres, because that does not matter. Going to look at the position change, as now it's all gone away, which is helpful. There we go. As we now have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And lights out, and away we go for the feature race. And Woody Racing has had a very good start. He's immediately in the slipstream of Bolt, who has got past Chiller Killer down into turn 1, and oh! Woody Racing all on the grass trying to get past Bolt, but that's not going to work. He's lost out to Chiller Killer there, as we have King No Skill and Murcielago, I think it was, side by side in the background. Brilliant start here to this race, as now all Skull has left the session, as we have Chiller Killer putting Bolt under tremendous amounts of pressure, and we have Chazza down in P7 already. He's lost out a couple of positions here, as we're going to now look further back. Oh, it's absolute chaos here, as Chazza is now getting past. No, he's not getting past Jay Hobson. Jay Hobson's defending from Chazza, as Val is putting the pressure on King No Skill, as he's trying to go up the inside of turn 9. Is he going to get that done? No, he's not. Now he's going to be under pressure from Murcielago behind, and Jay Hobson, as now they're heading down towards turn 10. And yes, Murcielago up into 6th place. Well done. Nice move by the Austrian man. And oh, who's that been spinning around? It's been Chazza. I think he was planning to go up. Well, I think he was alongside Jay Hobson UK, to be perfectly honest with you. But he just got absolutely ignored and spun around, and now Chazza is down in 12th, and that's not what you want if you're wanting to win the championship like he is. But now on the battle for first, Chiller Killer and Bolt TBD going down side by side into turn 1. Chiller Killer is going to have to go the long way round around the outside, as Bolt is defending the inside line. Is he going to make the defence? Yes, he is, just about. As now Woody Racing is getting involved and looking for some sort of monumental switchback on Chiller Killer. Is he going to be able to make the move up the inside of turn 4? No, not quite, as Chiller Killer's pretty much pushing Bolt TBD through the corner. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. Is he going to chuck up a move? No, he's not going to do the little chuck up the inside. At turn 5 is now Murcielago, Dougie Aframan, and Jay Hobson UK have exchanged positions. Dougie Aframan up 3 positions, of course, starting P10. So he's had a very good start to this feature race. It's now the top 3, closer than ever, as Woody Racing closing up behind Chiller Killer. He's not going to make a move though. Oh, but Chiller Killer's going to make a move, is he? No, he's not on Bolt. I thought he was for a moment there. His car swerved monumentally to the left. I think he might have outbroke himself and just about held on to managed not to hit the back of TBD. As now we're heading out of the final chicane, and now can Chiller Killer manage to hold on from Woody Racing, as Bolt sets a fast lap of the feature race so far, 134.9. 7. And is Woody Racing catching up? No, he is absolutely not catching up to Chillicothe, as both Bolt and Chillicothe run a little bit deep into turn 3. As Woody Racing just got on the curb there, he was set up to have a monumental run out of turn 2, but ultimately just clipping that curb and being a little bit too aggressive on the throttle on that curb has cost him some time there. But immediately into turn 4, he catches that back up. Does he ever? As Bolt is now starting to run away, I think, with a little bit with this race. Well, I wouldn't. Okay, poor choice of words there. Let's be honest. I don't think 0.8 of a second gap is a runaway, but he's starting to extend his margin now, as it's nearly out to a second. But further back, we have King No Skill in 4th, Val in 5th, who's trying to catch up. King No Skill, Val with a great start as well, along with Dougie Afroman, up 3 positions. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that one. As we have Murcielago in P6, Jay Hobson P7, Dougie Afroman P8, P9 is Hefford, Chazza in 10th, then 11th is Sniper Killer, 12th is Skell, 13th is a G-Man, so 13th is JFD, and 14th is the G-Man. But now let's see if Woody Racing is any closer this time, and I think he might just be to Chillicothe down the main straight, heading down towards turn 1. I can't see, but Chillicothe defending the inside line. Woody Racing going to have to go the long way around, and oh, there's contact between Woody Racing and Chillicothe. I'm not sure about that one. I think Woody might have been a little bit aggressive on the turn-in compared to Chillicothe there, but I'm not too sure. It was hard to tell from my camera view, but contact between Chillicothe and Woody Racing, and that's the last thing Chillicothe would have wanted. Of course, having a brilliant qualifying, and now he's only lost a couple of positions, thankfully, so he can make his way back up onto the podium potentially. Of course, we still have a long way to go in this race, but unfortunate contact between the two there, as Jay Hobson and Murcielago are trading positions, as Jay Hobson has got past, not sure how or where, but now Chillicothe in P5. He'll be bitterly disappointed with that, as now we've got Val getting past King No Skill. I'm not sure how he's got past so easily. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm assuming that King No Skill might have made a little bit of a mistake, gone in the gravel perhaps. Let's see if there's anything on his tyres. No, can't see anything on his tyres, but to be going that slowly out of turn 9 and down the straight into turn 10, I think he might have had to go a little bit wide, or something's happened there. So Val up into P3, but now King No Skill will be looking to take back that position, coming down the main straight, and he's had a relatively decent exit, has he? But oh, here we go, as he's closing massively on Val in the slipstream. Val's going to defend the inside, but it was too late, as King No Skill goes down the inside for P3, but he goes off the track across the sausage curbs, and that is going to promote Val back up into P3. Is it? Or are they still side by side? They just about are, as King No Skill somehow managed to keep it in there, but Val with the inside line into turn 4 should have the move done, and indeed he does. Val cements his position up into P3, or does he? King No Skill coming back at him, but not able to do anything of it yet, as there's a little bit of action behind, as Chazza is right up the rear of Dougie Afroman, trying to get past up into P9. Is Chazza. But let's go back to the battling ahead between Val and King No Skill. No, King No Skill. Oh, I'll say a bit too far back, but he's absolutely sent it from a mile back. Daniel Ricciardo, is that you? But he hasn't been able to keep hold of the position, as he's gone too deep and on the AstroTurf, and he's nearly got past Val with a extraordinary move into turn 10. Caught Val sleeping and me sleeping as well. But I think that once again he's going to be putting Val under quite amount of pressure heading down into turn 1 here, as I've just noticed as well. Chazza is up into P9 past Dougie Afroman, but now on the slipstream, Val is certainly not going to let him get the inside line now, and he's going to have to go the long way around the outside, as now we also have some other cars getting involved. But King No Skill has gone off the track once again. And oh! Val spun! Val has spun. He's hit the sausage curb or something. He's been too aggressive on the throttle. And he's now down into P10. And that promotes Chiller Killer up into P3. As he's had an issue there. He was going a bit too wide. As now King No Skill is up into P3. I'm not too sure how Chiller Killer exactly got past. Oh, of course, King No Skill went wide. I just forgot. But absolutely madness of a battle between Val and King No Skill there. But now Chiller Killer and King No Skill is where we need to be paying our attention. As Chiller Killer looking to get past King No Skill here. As I've just noticed that Chaz has now got past Hefford as well, up into P7. So Chaz are all as King No Skill all ways out of shape there, out of turn 10. But he's managed to staying ahead as we've got a 3-car battle and about 3 cars within the space of about 20 metres, which is great to see. As we've got now Chazza also gaining on this group as we have a car coming into the pits. I believe that is of Chiller Killer. Indeed it is, on lap 7 of this Grand Prix. And now Murcielago is... No, Murcielago's a bit further back. It's Jay Hobson UK is gaining on King No Skill. Down into turn 1. He's going to look for the move. Up the inside. Is King No Skill going to keep it on the track this time? Indeed he is. As Jay Hobson's taking a bit of a tighter line through turn 2. And he's going to open up the corner through turn 3. Not quite. He's had a good run. He still might be close enough. If he dares to make a move down into turn 4, he feints the move down into turn 4. Fernando Alonso, is that you? But he just stays behind King No Skill for the time being. As he now, King No Skill is defending quite heavily from Jay Hobson, but I'm not entirely sure that was completely necessary. I think that might have just cost him a little bit of time there, but I'm not racing. He can do what he wants, I suppose. It's now Jay Hobson UK up the inside into turn 9, is he? Oh, so close. A bit too difficult as King No Skill managed to hold around the outside as he got a little bit out of shape into turn 8. As Jay Hobson looked to make the move there on King No Skill down into turn 10. But not quite. As who's that running off? I think that's the G-Man running off track in the gravel. Oh dear. As he is always out of shape. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way. But we've got the 2 leaders in the pit lane. Bolt and Woody Racing. Well, there can only be one leader. But you know what I mean. Bolt in the pit lane and Woody second in the pit lane. King No Skill, Jay Hobson and Murcielago and Dougie Afroman all in the pit lane. We've got absolute carnage here. Dougie Afroman's got a 5-second speeding penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and I believe someone else also did as well. Oh, as Jay Hobson UK has been held up there. I think it was by Dougie Afroman coming into pits. And he's lost a little bit of time he has to King No Skill. No, he's lost a whole heap of time to King No Skill. And if anything, Bolt has extended his gap to Woody Racing by about half a second, as Woody Racing struggling a little bit with the initial grip there of the tyres, running extremely wide through turn 3. As Val has just managed to get his way past Hefford for P2. Hefford is actually quite all over the back of him, if I'm perfectly honest. I think Val might be struggling with his tyres a little bit now on lap 8, as of course Hefford and Chazza are on the medium compounded tyres, and here is Chazza. Of course, we've seen some contact on lap 1, I believe it was, between himself and Jay Hobson UK. As we've got Sniper Killer getting a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, as we've seen him head off track there. I don't think going that far off the track, taking the MotoGP line, was quite necessary, but that's what he did. So, hey ho. As now we're just going to have a quick little look at the chat. Kevin Jacobs says that's the same curb I wrecked last year on and lost second place. Yes, I do remember that. That was quite disappointing, as now we have Val in the pit lane from third to put on the medium compound of tyre. And we've got Subaru Ryan STI Ryan, good to see you, mate. And he says, hi guys, nice to catch this stream. Good to see you in here as well, mate. It's Chili Killer sits fast lap of 1:33.9 as Val makes his pit stop, and that promotes King No Skill and a couple other drivers up a few positions. And of course Val was in P3 until he had his little spin here at turn 2 on that curb. Very unfortunate for Val. He is having a great race, but just those mistakes, you can't be having them. And he did have one of them. It cost him dearly so far, but now Jay Hobson is closing in on Murcielago. As now we're kind of being a little bit deprived of action, if I'm perfectly honest here. But the two teammates, Val and Dougie Aframan, getting a little bit close on Circa, as of course Val has just come out of the pits. And it must have been awfully close with Dougie Aframan, if they're that this close at the moment. It's Val going defensive into turn 9. Oh dear. But Dougie Aframan, he went a little bit wide there, I think he did. But Val, what are you doing, mate? And Dougie very late on the brakes compared to Val once again, as Val actually broke too early then, had to cut the inside. As now Bolt sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 1:33.22, and he now is extending his lead over Woody Racing to 3.8 seconds. He's pulling away from effective second place, as Val is all over the place on his first lap. Speaking all over the place, Dougie Aframan was going to have a great run on Val there, but he lost the rear end out of the corners. Val struggling on his first lap with these tyres, as now Jay Hobson UK and Murcielago are now battling, and Jay Hobson looking for a switchback. Is he going to be able to get a good enough switchback through turn 3 to get around on Murcielago? No, not quite. He hasn't quite perfected that, as Murcielago's car is lagging back and forth, as you've seen Jay Hobson just pulling to the inside to avoid that. But now that's quite unfortunate. But Jay Hobson trying to go around the outside of turn 5. Is he? Not quite there. But now we have Bolt up the inside of Hefford, up into P2 is our championship leader. Now he is 9.3 seconds behind his teammate, who has not pitted and who is currently on the medium compounded tyre. Wonder when we're going to see him come into the pit lane, and we're going to see him come into the pit lane right there. Perfectly done for my commentary. Thanks, mate, for that one there, as he just about slows down, and now he's going to make his one and only pit stop on to the soft compounded tyres. As now Jay Hobson and Murcielago very close once again, and Murcielago's car is lagging, which is very unfortunate. There's nothing worse than being stuck behind a laggy car, or battling with a laggy car I should say, but he's had an awful run there through the final chicane and up the inside, even in the before we go through the last corner itself properly. Jay Hobson UK up into P7. Great move there. But let's see where Chazza comes out in reaction to this. He's going to come out. Oh, Jay Hobson not realising who's there. Chazza did very well then. Oh, as Murcielago's also spun now on that same curb that Val did. And he's down now. He's going to drop down the field. Very unfortunate for Murcielago, but Jay Hobson just turned into the corner. I'm not sure if he even realised that Chazza was there, and that could have been the second bit of contact that we've seen between these two so far today. So I'm sure that Chazza will be looking to make a statement, and he gets past Jay Hobson, that's for sure. So just quickly read the chat, and hello to Rise saying hi Nib, I'm new. Yep, hello mate. I certainly realise your name from Chazza's YouTube channel, but Chazza with so much more grip than Jay Hobson out of turn 9. He's going to make this move surely, cleanly. Yes, great move there by Chaz into turn 10. And now he's moved himself up into P6, and he's going to look to hunt down King No Skill, Chiller Killer, and potentially even Woody Racing. But now Woody Racing past Hefford up into P2 of this race. This is now closed in a little bit on Bolt in the last couple of laps. Now the gap is 3.2 seconds, but of course it doesn't matter when it's that big really, unless you're losing about half a second or, you know, anything like that per lap. So Bolt's doing a very good job at the moment. You can see already Chaz up 1.1 second ahead of Jay Hobson already, and he only overtook him at turn 10, and they're at turn 3 now. So Chazza is going to be very, very quick in the final stages of this race. The Sniper Killer getting out the way. Don't need to quite go off the circuit, you just need to pull to the inside. But if he wants to let him through like that and lose more time than what he needs to do, then fair play. But a bit excessive, as now Woody Racing is bringing that gap down to 2.8 seconds. I think we might be seeing a little bit of a closing up at the front here. Certainly at the moment though. As we're just watching Chaz on probably what will be the fastest lap of the feature race. Just got to get into the habit of saying feature race, not not Grand Prix and sprint race and all that. Got to be right. But Chaz up, pushing very hard. You can see on this lap as Murcielago, or more Dougie Aframan, has made a mistake there through turn 9 as he's off the track on the all over the place, and now Murcielago is past him up into P9 as Woody Racing I think set the fastest lap. I can't remember what time it was, to be perfectly honest. It flashed up along the bottom of the screen, but I can't remember. But I'm sure we're going to see the fastest lap of the feature race here. 1:33.0 by Chazza, and he is absolutely flying, taking 1.5 seconds out of King No Skill on that lap. And one thing's for sure, of course, effectively, Chiller Killer is in 3rd place, but Hefford has not pitted yet, so that's why he is still there, and he's doing a fantastic job, it must be said. 13 laps in on these tyres, and he's still going at quite a reasonable pace. You know, Chiller Killer hasn't caught him so much. Is now Bolt is responding on this lap and pulling the gap past 3 seconds again. He's done a Lewis Hamilton and he's gone wham bam Shazam. There's Subaru Ryan in the chat saying long time since the last caught NRL, missing it a lot. Yep, very good to see you here, mate, and hopefully one day we can see you back in some capacities. We've now got Hefford coming into the pit lane to make his one and only pit stop of the feature race, and to go on to these soft compounded tyres, and we will let's watch this whole pit stop, as now we've had Sniper Killer leaving the session and the G-Man also. But since we are deprived of a little bit of battling, is now Chaz sets new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:32.8. It's now Hefford coming into the pit lane. Let's see whereabouts he comes out, as he was indeed the last pit box. He's going to come out behind Murcielago in P9. Quite a little bit away though, a couple of seconds, and he's going to have to do a mighty job to catch up to the back of these guys. But he's done a good race. He's gained 2 positions, and I'm sure he'll be reasonably happy with that. As now Chazza 2.1 seconds behind King No Skill. I'm sure that probably on the next lap we'll be looking at that battle for Chazza to potentially make a move for P4, and I think that's the best Chazza's going to get today. There's no way he's going to catch Chiller Killer, I don't think. I think the gap might be a bit too big, but we shall see. It's King No Skill running wide off the circuit there. And Chazza being very fine with that inside curb, as Woody Racing now 2.2 seconds behind Bolt, set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:32.8, and he's on the medium compound tyre, for crying out loud. Woody is on fire. But could it be all too little too late for Woody Racing? The gap is 2.3 seconds, 2.2. He's bringing the gap down, that is for sure. But is there enough laps remaining for him to catch Bolt? I'm not too sure there is. We shall see. As he's squirming a little bit all over the track there on the exit of turn 4. Now locking up into the braking zone. That's going to cost him a lot of time, and all of his hard work is probably undone by just that one mistake, although it looks like somehow he's only lost like about 2/10 by locking up and going very deep into a corner. Interesting. So Woody Racing, he hasn't gained too much on this lap, but of course through the final sector your lap could be made as he runs very wide there, nearly losing the rear end out of turn 10. And just when it looks like he's going to catch up to Bolt, he makes a little bit of a mistake or anything. He's just pushing a little bit too hard at the moment, is Woody Racing. As you can see Bolt right there. But Woody Racing, can he close that gap up to Bolt? As now we're going to go back to Chazza. So of course we mentioned that this battle between him and King No Skill was bound to happen. And indeed it is happening. Here we go. We're coming through the final chicane now. Chazza setting up for a bit of a switchback through the chicane. And King No Skill's got absolutely no pace through the last corner. His tyres must be absolutely dead, or that's just showing how much grip Chazza has got, as Chazza had to brake through the final corner to make sure he didn't hit the back of him. But Chazza around the outside surely gets the move done here on King No Skill, and indeed he does. Chazza up into P4 past King No Skill, and now Chazza will try and attempt to catch Chili Killer, but I think the 6-second gap is going to be a little bit too big, as I'd previously mentioned. And I think that will probably be it if for any action for the remainder of this race. Oh, it was Woody Racing. I think that might just be a timing glitch. Or is he actually... No, he has. He's lost a huge amount of time as Woody Racing. He's gone off circuit somewhere, and now he's 10 seconds behind Bolt. As we said before, you could see that he's just pushing the car too hard through the corners, squirming and locking up quite a few times. And now he's lost about 7 seconds to Bolt, so some sort of mistake there for Woody. And that's unfortunate, but thankfully for him, it's not going to cost him P3. He's going to stay in P2. Of course, I don't think it would have mattered in the end had he not spun, or whatever he did, but... he's, sorry, I really still am waking up here. But, yeah. Woody, oh, he's very squirmish there through turn 1 and 2. And the rear end just not happy whatsoever. It wants to run away. As now we are, well, with the cars all separated, the closest gap on track is the one between Chazza and King No Skill. And of course, we've just seen Chazza get past King No Skill. We're a bit deprived of action here, so I don't know if you want to send him some questions in the chat, please do so. But yeah, a little bit deprived action. We're probably going to stay on board here with Woody until the end of the race, because it looks like he could potentially have the most action, as he's pushing still quite hard. Maybe not as hard as what he was before, as his tyres there are degrading, but we've seen that he's made a mistake. And oh, and there you go, speaking of mistake, through turn 11, carrying too much speed, front lock up and just snap of oversteer into the gravel, and now he's lost another couple of seconds to Woody Race to well, he can't lose a couple of seconds to himself. Lost a couple of seconds once more to Bolt, and now Chili Killer is only 2 seconds behind, and which with Woody Racing really struggling with his tyres now after his very, very strong pace earlier on in this stint. I'm sure that Chili Killer is licking his lips and potentially seeking P2 in this feature race now. As now we're going to just stay on with Chili Killer to see if Woody Racing does make any mistakes, and you can see immediately that Chili Killer's car is just behaving much better than Woody Racing's, perhaps not pushing as hard and being rewarded for it. I think that we can see that Woody Racing probably does have the pace advantage, but not every lap is a qualifying lap. You do need to take care of your tyres. And I think we're perhaps seeing Woody Racing pay for it now as Chillicothe. Gap's 1.9 seconds as we're on the penultimate lap of the feature race. Chillicothe down into turn 10. Very smooth all round, I must say. Certainly not struggling and having issues with the car like Woody Racing was having, but he's just a little bit too far away, I think, here from Woody Racing as he does close up through the final sector, but I think he's going to be a bit too far back. What's the only way that he's going to get past Woody Racing is with a mistake from Woody Racing, and we've seen it twice now, so who knows, it could happen. But surely on the final lap of the feature race that Woody Racing decides to take it a little bit easy. But let's talk about this man for a little bit. Bolt TBD. He's been fantastic in this feature race. You know, he got past, he had a fantastic start, got past the pole man. You know, he's just done his job very, very well so far, and he'll certainly be looking to replicate this sort of performance in the sprint race. Of course, he'll have to start in P8 for the sprint race, but the way he's driven so far, I don't think that will be any deterrent on his quest to grab the win. And of course, it's going to be another win for our current championship leader. He's leading over Chaz, so it's going to be a fantastic result for Bolt. And Chaz hasn't got the fast lap bonus. I think Woody Racing's going to get that, as now Bolt comes through the final chicane, out of the chicane, now through the final corner, and Bolt TBD is going to win feature race here in Catalonia. Fantastic performance that was. Brilliant drive, absolutely no mistakes, and at the end of the day, that is what matters, as Woody Racing now finishes in P2. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that. I think he showed some very strong pace in that second stint, but ultimately mistakes stopped him from catching Bolt, as Chillicothe actually had a 5-second unserved stop and go penalty, so he's just about finished P3, only 0.4 of a second in front of Chazar. King No Skill in 5th, Jay Hobson in 6th, Val in 7th, who was up in the podium positions, but a spin cost him ultimately. Murcielago in 8th, Hefford in 9th. He wasn't able to catch Murcielago in the end on those fresh soft tyres. And we'll read out the rest of the order once we've had our podium celebration. But once again, it's another Russian time winning, and well, very used to winning is Bolt TBD as he takes the feature race here in Spain. And now, the final finishing order. Once again, I think I was up to about Hefford and Doug Yaffman. So Doug Yaffman in 10th, Skull TBD in 12th, JFD in 12th, Sniper Kill in 13th, and the G-Man 14th. So that's it for our feature race so far. Of course, Chillicothe got 4 points, didn't he? Yes, indeed he did. For taking pole. So I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. As Subaru Ryan congratulating Bolt in the chat, and Bolt saying, "Yikers, that was sweaty. There was no grip compared to time trial." Well, yeah, I think it was a little bit more overcast than, of course, than what time trial would be, so I think that might have played a bit of a factor. And of course with the tyre wear and then the tyre temperature, I am sure that actually played a factor. Time trial is actually is not very realistic compared to what it actually is going to be in the race. Must be said, as we're now just waiting for our drivers to load in for, of course, the formation lap of this sprint race. As Callum J. Spencer 44 Gaming says, boo Bolt, boo. Wendy Testberger, boo. There you go. Of course, I think he's taking the mick there. Of course, those two are mates. But on pole for the reverse grid order, it's going to be Murcielago, followed by Val in second, Jay Hobson in third, Kingno Skill in fourth, Chazza in fifth, Chillikilla in sixth, Woody Racing in seventh, Bolt in eighth, Hefford in ninth, Dougie Afroman in 10th, Skull in 11th, 12th JFD, 13th Sniper Killer, 14th G-Men, and Danny Abinlaho, who's managed to join for the sprint race, will start last of all in 15th position. So I'm just going to rest my voice a little bit here as the drivers are on the formation lap, and as expected, everyone on the medium compounded tyre for the sprint race. Okay, it was a South Park reference. Well, I certainly wouldn't know because I'd never watched South Park, but there you go. There's Murcielago nearly spinning the car on the formation lap. That's not what you want to be doing. As we're just about to get underway, heading through the final sector now. One thing I must say is it seemed like the formation lap would be such a great thing to be added to the F1 game, but no, it's been a little bit it's been a bit annoying, certainly as a driver. When you just want to get racing, you have to do a formation lap and you quite dread it, and as a commentator you have to fill some time through here, which I absolutely have no fillers for at the moment, as I ran through them for the previous formation lap. But yeah, we're now got Murcielago in his grid slot, so we will get underway sooner rather than later. As now we have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and lights out, and away we go for our sprint race here. And it looks like Val has got a very good start compared to Murcielago, but someone who's got an absolute rip snorting start is Jay Hobson UK, and he's going to look to go down the middle, but Val has gone very deep there, as now three wide as the big contact, but at the back between, I think that might have been Ducky Afroman there caught up in that, but Jay Hobson has bolts out of the race. Oh dear, Woody Racing involved as well. Absolute disaster for our championship leader. He's out of the race. Contact out of turn 2, in turn 3. Between him and Woody Racing, we'll be hearing about that afterwards. But the championship leader out of the race, oh dearie me, and I'm sure we'll hear in the chat right now from himself what has just happened as Chazza is up into P2 with Val in the lead. Oh dear, what a chaotic start there. Of course, the drivers being a bit further back, we missed it. And sadly, of course, we don't have a replay of it, as Val defending the inside line from Chazza. And Chazza is not going to want to be risking any contact in that part of the track, as now there's quite a bit of a train as Val... No, Chazza's made the move there in the final sector, but oh dear, this could end very badly. Chazza went off the track. Val didn't give him any room to re-enter the track, and there was nearly contact between the two. But through the final corner, look how much more speed Chazza has carried than Val, and that will be a very comfortable move for Chazza down the main straight on Val. Or will it? Val has still got the inside line, and he's actually quicker in a straight line. He's gone very deep into turn one though, but where is Chazza? There he is, Chazza with the switchback. I'd expected Chazza to be there, but Val broke oh so late. It's now Chazza trying to go around the outside of turn 4. Is he going to make that stick? No, not quite. He's going to look for some sort of switchback to then potentially make a move in to turn 5, as we've got action between Chillikilla and Jay Hobson in the background, with Chillikilla with a move up the inside into turn 5. Oh, he's given the big giant squeeze on Jay Hobson UK there, as now he's up into P3, and King No Skill up the inside of Jay Hobson. Oh, as he nearly loses the rear end, but King No Skill in P5, Jay Hobson in P4, and Chazza still can't get past Val. Chazza all the way trying to go around the outside of Val. Let's see if he can get the switchback done. No, not quite, because he had to cut the corner. He mistimed his switchback there, did Chazza, but Val absolutely parking the bus here at the moment, and somehow keeping Chazza behind as he goes defensive into that corner. And he's going defensive into the chicane. Oh, dearie me. But Chazza, of course, we've seen through the final corner the last time how much more confident he was, and once again he's going to have to lift off the throttle and stop his good run down the main straight, as he was so much quicker through the final corner than Val. But now Chazza dips back into the slipstream, but Val is so much more quicker. I think it's clear to see that Chazza is running a little bit more downforce than Val in this sprint race, and that's costing him dearly at the moment. But now through turn 3, he's going to look for some sort of switchback on Val, but Val parks his car in the middle of the track. Very good defensive driving there by the Italian, as Chazza now trying to go around the outside of turn 4. Is he going to be able to do anything about that? No, it doesn't look like it, but has he got his car up the inside for turn 5? It looks like he has, and I think that will be it. Chazza up into P5. Sorry, up the inside of the P in turn 5. I can't even do English, as now Chazza in the lead that Grand Prix, so in the lead of the sprint race, but Val is certainly still harassing him, and now has been joined by Chillikilla in P3, so it's all kicking off here at the front. But Val has had a very poor run there out of turn 9, and he does not lose or gain a position, but someone who has gained a position potentially, no, King No Skill not able to get up into P4, up into P4 momentarily, but it was that way around. I'm fairly sure it's now Chazza pulling a gap to Val already. Yep, the gap is now over 1 second, so you can see how much Val was holding everyone up, and I'm not sure what's going on with Val through the final corner. But he's losing so much time through the final corner. It's now Val in the slipstream. Oh, Chillikilla down the main straight. He's got to try, go around the outside into turn 1. Not quite, and now he's going to look for some sort of switchback, making sure you can hear him lift off the throttle. Not going to try and spin out like he did in the last race. The feature race, of course. We've seen him make a mistake. Oh, and he's absolutely sent it from a mile back. Oh, my days. I thought there was going to be monumental contact there between Val and Chillikilla. He sent it from a long way back as Val. Oh, my days. He's absolutely launching it into the braking zones, and I'm sure if he's anywhere near close enough into turn 10, we're going to see quite a move there from Val. But Chillikilla with a much better exit out of turn 8 has pulled that gap, so I don't think we'll be seeing that dive bomb from Val, as we've got battle between Jay Hobson and King No Skill still raging on. As we'll now just quickly look at the chat to see what if our championship leader has said anything, and he said what the beep, and then a whole load of then just a rage of letters, and yep, just rage. And then he says, the one weekend I don't have any mistakes and I DNF because of other people's accidents. Absolutely fuming. And of course that is the well, some would say the beauty of the sprint race, but I'd say what I absolutely hate about the sprint race. You get put back into the midfield, back amongst the where there could be more incidents happen, and yeah, that is just what happens sometimes. We've seen it happen to Chazza last week, and it has happened to the other Russian time driver this week. So very unfortunate for Gaming Now, or for Bolt, and Woody Racing also caught up in that as well. And I think he has actually left the session, has Woody. I think it's AI just continuing around. But I'm sure that if you follow the appropriate channels, you'll see what happened between Bolt and Woody and what happened in front of them, because it sounds like that there was contact in front of them which caused that incident, which is extremely unfortunate. But now back onto the action, which there isn't much of to speak of at the moment. The closest gap on track is between Jay Hobson and Murcielago, and that is about 7/10 of a second. So go on, Murcielago, let's make something interesting. We've got Chazza pulling away at the front. 2.3 second gap over Chillikilla, as Val has now fallen back from Chillikilla, nearly 2 seconds as well behind Chillikilla. And King No Skill further 2.5 seconds back, with Jay Hobson about 1.5 seconds back, and Murcielago with some powerful DRS down the main straight, closing in on Jay Hobson here. As Jay Hobson taking a very wide line there through turn 3. On the entry to turn 3, but it's Murcielago who runs wide. There is Jay Hobson. I don't know why he was pulling to the inside there, but he did. As now he's under pressure from Murcielago, as we've just got an explanation of what happened, so I'll look at that when I just can. With Murcielago putting pressure on Jay Hobson here, and of course out of turn 9 into turn 10 he'll be looking to make the move as he's pushing Jay Hobson through there, and that stopped any potential run that Murcielago would have had. And now he's going to have to go very late on the brakes around the outside. No, he's just a little bit too far back on Jay Hobson there, but you can see at the moment Murcielago just a bit more confident than Jay Hobson. Great to see him. And of course, if you follow Project Cars, this is a performance you'd much more expect from Murcielago. He's doing very well. Of course, in Project Cars, he'd be up towards the front in P2, P3, but this is certainly the best performance that I've seen from him on the F1 game, as Jay Hobson, all very squirmish out of the final corner there, and that should allow Murcielago to move up into P5. Past him, there's going to be absolutely no contest and down into turn 1 after that mistake from Jay Hobson, and we have Murcielago up into P5 in the sprint race here. Lap 7 of 13, as now the Danny is just got past the G-Man for P11, and now Danny will be setting his sights on Skull 10 seconds down the road. So I think that Danny might be a bit lonely for a little bit of time, as now here we go. Gaming Now saying Chazza got checked up, Woody hit Chazza, Woody spun and blocked the track, I hit Woody, Danny hit me, wheel came off. So very unfortunate there for Gaming Now. Of course, last weekend I think it was Jay Hobson and Chillikilla, I can't remember who else it was, but they had some contact into the S's at Baku, and your teammate, well, somehow didn't get put out of the race from that, but sadly you were in this sprint race. So once again we're having a bit of a dull moment, so we just have to hope that there is some more action. But it must be said that King No Skill is starting to catch Val for P3, but Val will be desperate to hold on to that P3, and with that mistake there by King No Skill dipping a tyre into the gravel, I'm sure that that won't really hurt, although somehow after you've put a whole rear tyre in the gravel, you don't lose any time. Makes sense to me. But yeah, as I was saying, Val will be desperate to hold on to this P3 after that's where he was in the feature race. But King No Skill now closing the gap just by a couple of tenths over this lap. Has now got Skull up past JFD. I wonder what's happened there. And yet there we go, JFD P10. The Skull has got past him for P9. Running a little bit wide there on the exit of turn 5. There's Jay Hobson, of course. Very bit of a loose rear end there through the final sectors. Dropped back to Murcielago after Murcielago overtook him a couple of laps ago. So now we're on lap 9. And the gap between Chilikel and Chaz are kind of just staying at about 3.5 seconds. As King No Skill heads through turn 3, down to turn 4. Skep's now 1.2 seconds between him and Val. Oh, it's now actually a second. Val must have had a bit of a poor run through those corners there. And as soon as I think King No Skill gets some DRS, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Val to stay ahead here. But King No Skill needs to get himself inside that DRS. Of course, DRS window being 1 second. Or as he runs a little bit wide there through turn 9, kicking up some dirt, some gravel. But he's not going to be able to keep it on track there on the exit of turn 10. And it must be said, it is very annoying. All I can hear in my ears, basically, is the crowd on. For absolutely no reason. Just seemingly every 5 seconds ago, they make a noise. Yeah, right there, you just heard it. It's a bit annoying, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm going to try and have a look to see if there's a setting. As we've got Woody Racing coming into the pit lane. Not sure if it actually is him driving the car though. It's King No Skill closer than ever to Val in this sprint race here. 1 second behind Val. Not quite within the DRS window yet. So he's going to have to close in on this lap. And then hope to have it on the following lap. Or who knows, he could have it down into turn 10. Of course, because there is that DRS zone there. Oh, the crowd. I'm going to have a look to see if there's any possible changes I can make right now, because this is very much annoying me. I assume it's going to be effects. Let's see if that is going to help it. Oh, and who is that? I think Chiller Killer's actually gone into the wall. Who went in the wall there? There was some car that had gone into the wall out of that corner. I think King No Skill must have made a mistake. I don't think he quite went in the wall. Yes, King No Skill's made a mistake. And now that's put him in the clutches of Murcielago. He made a mistake out of turn 8, lost the rear end, which is so easy to do. Just as I was turning the crowd down, which I don't think has actually worked, as Chazza sets the fastest lap of the sprint race of 1:33.0, and he certainly is going to be needing that to gain in on his teammate and capitalise on his teammate's retirement from the from this sprint race. Now we have Murcielago in the slipstream of King No Skill down the main straight. He's got DRS and he's going to go around the outside, is he, of King No Skill? It's absolutely no contest as Murcielago moves up into P4 now past King No Skill. It was looking oh so promising for King No Skill, potentially getting a podium. Is certainly closing up on Val. Getting past Val is certainly another question, that is for sure, as we've seen earlier in the race with Chazza. But King No Skill, disappointing that down into P5 now and falling back quite a way from Murcielago already, and certainly my changes to my audio level have not made any difference to the crowd, so that is quite irritating. But King No Skill's already fallen out the 1 second window here from Murcielago. So Murcielago showing some good pace in this race, that's for sure, which is nice to see, because he's also a nice fella. Two is we've got cars, we've got some battling to talk about, as Danny Abinlahar is now closed up within half a second of Skull TBD for P9. As now Danny through turn 9, he's going to have so much more grip than Skull. As you can see, Skull running massively wide, Danny taking so much more speed through the corner. He's going to go around the outside of turn 10. Quite a comfortable move for Danny, and he gets the move done. Danny Abinlahar up into P9 past Skull, and now he's going to look to see if he can get past and potentially catch Dougie Afferman for P8 is Danny, so we'll keep an eye on that. As now King No Skill running a little bit wide there through turn 3, as we've got some sort of audio glitch with Chili Killer's car. Now it's very annoying. Yep, you can even hear it from the off-board camera as well. That is extremely irritating. So I'm glad that we're not having to call any action with Chili Kill at the moment, because I'm sure that I'll be very irritated at that indeed. If I'm getting irritated at the sound that the crowd is making, I'm sure that that the gearbox sound glitch would be more annoying than that. As Chazza coming through the awful chicane, in my opinion, one of the worst actual additions to a track since a track's inception that I've possibly seen. I don't like that chicane whatsoever. Of course, it was much better in 2006, the last year, where we had that fast right-hander through there. As Chazza into turn 1 on the final lap of the sprint race, lap 13. And it's been a very comfortable one for Chazza, although we've heard that he was a little bit involved in that incident at the start. Obviously, by the sounds of it, not his fault whatsoever. But he certainly capitalised on his teammate retiring, and Woody Racing also another championship battler, as we've got Murcielago and King No Skill now getting on it. So King No Skill must catch back up to Murcielago here. Murcielago is lagging, unfortunate to see once again. But yeah, Chazza capitalising on his teammate's retirement, and it looks like he's going to take all of the points available. I think he has the fastest lap, or did Danny just take it? I can't exactly remember, so we will have to just watch out for that one as we come across, as King No Skill has gone 2 miles off the track then in an attempt to get P4 off Murcielago, as we have to go to the front. Chazza wins the Grand Prix, absolutely no mistakes. A clinical performance there by Chazza in the sprint race. But now back to the action between King No Skill and Murcielago, and it looks like Murcielago will hold on to 4th place as the G-Man 5-second stop-go penalty for unserved penalty, but he is pretty sure a lap down. As there we go, Chazza wins the sprint race. Great performance by Chazza, led pretty much from start to finish. Well, led once he got past Val on lap 3 or so. So well done to Chazza. Chili Killer with a great performance, P2. Val with a podium. I know he'll be absolutely delighted with that in P3. Murcielago in P4. King No Skill P5. J Hobson P6. Hefford P7, improving on his P9, which was seen in the previous race. Dougie in P8. Danny Abinlahar, who's got a puncture there, in P9. Skull in 10th, JFD about to come home in P11, and the G-Man in P12. And Woody Racing, who I'm pretty sure is not even racing, coming across the line very soon. And there we go. By ending, that means he is not. As as it says, get in there. Obviously, get in there, Lewis. As Bono, in my opinion, very annoyingly says after a very usual Lewis Hamilton win. But Chazza takes the victory here in the sprint race, and I know, well, as he just put in chat, he's out here, he's delighted with that. And now it certainly heats up the championship a little bit more, as I think after this we head to Monaco. So hopefully we might see a bit more excitement around the streets of the Principality in Monaco. And indeed we do. Monaco next week is now. We'll head through the classification once more. Chazza taking P1, Chillakilla second, Val third, fourth Murcielago, fifth King No Skill, sixth Jay Hobson, seventh is Hereford, eighth is Dougie, ninth is Danny, 10th is Skull, 11th is JFD, 14th the G-Man, 13th Woody Racing, and 14th is Bolt. And there you go. In the sprint race, Chazza gaining 17 points on his teammate Bolt, and he'll be absolutely delighted that. And there you go, gains 4 points on his teammate, does Chazza there, with Chillakilla actually taking the most points out of anyone. So well done there. But that has been it, and next week at 12 PM Central European Time, 10 UK British Summer Time, and 7 AM in good old cold Australia, it is it's been me, Niblo, and I'll see you later.